Welcome back, future influencers and businesses. The last module focused on how you can make enough money to make it rain in the club on a Saturday night in the VIP. Many of the things we spoke about also apply to brands that want to build their company account too. So if you're a business and you skipped that lesson, well, I'd suggest you go back and check it out. And if you're a personal brand, stick around and listen to this, as learning more about what businesses look for from influencers could benefit you a lot. So let's get this show on the road. One of the key ways that brands can market on TikTok is to strike a deal with an influencer and work with them to publicize and promote the product. We can probably assume that anybody studying this course on the Influencer Marketing Hub already knows the essentials of influencer marketing. However, I'm going to summarize it super fast for you just in case. So influencer marketing is a hybrid of old and new marketing tools. It takes the idea of celebrity endorsements and places it into the modern day content-driven marketing campaigns. The main differentiator in the case of influencer marketing is that the results of the campaign are collaborations between brands and influencers. Simple. So what are influencers? Well, influencers have the power to affect the purchasing decision of others because of their authority, their knowledge, position, or the relationship they have with their audience. They've built a following in a distinct niche and they actively engage with them. Influencers are not usually well-known celebrities, despite what the mainstream media may tell us. They are people who have gained a niche following in their social platform of choice. So if you're thinking about going on some cheesy reality dating show to try and become an influencer, well, don't. That won't build influence necessarily. You'll just be exploited like an animal in the zoo and probably never get a job again. So how does this apply to TikTok? Well, some of the people taking this course will be serious TikTok users wanting to become influencers in their own right. In other words, they want to build a following of devoted fans who love their videos. They want to interact with these fans and earn their respect. TikTok influencers have built a strong personal brand. Many people choose to watch their videos and they keenly anticipate every new release. So while TikTok's not as niche specific as some other networks, most influencers tend to follow a certain style to all the videos they share because they know their audience and they know what types of videos the audience wants to watch. And TikTok has a surprisingly diverse audience too. While we equate TikTok followers as being young and female, there are many older male TikTok users too. I wonder why. All these people will have slightly different tastes and naturally gravitate towards influencers who make videos that go well with their tastes. Businesses are figuring out the power of aligning themselves with influencers who have a following that roughly matches their target market. So, for example, if you sell makeup products, you'll want to align with young women who have already shared themselves wearing or applying makeup. If you sell sporting products, you want to look for influencers who share pictures of themselves doing active and sporty things. And if you sell invisible microphones, then man, you're going to be sport for choice. If you usually aim to come across as quirky or anti-establishment in your marketing, you might select influencers who upload prank videos on TikToks, for example. But how do you find the right influencers? I mean, it's not like there's a yellow pages for TikTok personalities, and as a result, this can make influencer marketing pretty labor intensive and difficult for the average business. Luckily, some smart people developed influencer marketing platforms to help you. Check out the list of these as I carry on talking. Most platforms don't explicitly advertise TikTok compatibility. However, it's still a new social network, and many of these platforms have been slow to expand to include TikTok influencers. However, if you look behind the scenes at many of the platforms, quite a few do analyze TikTok influencers' accounts. Platforms offer a variety of services. Make sure you thoroughly research any platform, ensuring they offer sufficient TikTok services to meet your needs before you sign any contract with them. If you don't find a suitable platform or you're a bit strapped for cash, you can search for influencers using a more manual method. You could begin with a Google search. For example, you could type in top TikTok creators to find more popular TikTok influencers. You could also add the name of your niche into the search, so sports TikTok creators. There's a lot of blogs out there that have already done the hard work for you on this. Next, you could go to your Discover page and search for relevant hashtags. It's easier to do this on the mobile version of TikTok than the desktop version. Look for the top trending videos and take note of who has made them. Another fast way to find influencers who are already sharing branded content is to search for videos in your niche that also use the hashtag ad tag. That's not easy to say. You'll have to think carefully about this though. These influencers have proven that they'll work with brands and may be open to your approach, but they may already be working with your competition or have decided that they've had enough of commercial collaborations. Yeah, because that's going to happen. You'll also find official ads that brands have paid for, so ignore any posts from obvious brand accounts. Another option is to check with influencers you already know from other social platforms and see if they operate on TikTok. If you're working with an influencer on, let's say, YouTube or Instagram, then it would make much more sense to just approach them about a TikTok collaboration. Whether you use a platform to find influencers or you use more manual methods, either because you already know the influencers in your field or because you've spent time on TikTok to see who its stars are, you need to do your due diligence on anyone you might work with. Now, depending on the experience level you seek, you'll want to see whether they have a proven track record of delivering high quality content and earning positive engagement. Look closely at their followers. Are they like your preferred target audience? Do the videos these influencers share suggest that their interests and values authentically match your brand? But do remember that you'll have relatively little say as to the style of the videos they share. Their audience watches these people's videos because they like the style and they like the type of content. They do not expect to see blatant ads. Oh, that is a delicious drink. And it's available in pretty much any shop you can come across. Oh, Red Bull. In particular, they don't want to see the types of ads you'd play on TV. You need to leave the influencers with the power to make the videos in their normal style and nature while still promoting your product as naturally as possible. In other words, trust them. They built their audience their way, so let them promote it their way too. But let's face it, it can be difficult to decide on just how much freedom you should give influencers for your collaboration. You need to give them creative freedom, but you also must build in protection in case things go wrong. You do need to understand one difference. Influencers work with you, not for you. So here's some other things to consider. Create a clear contract that is fair to both parties, including clauses in your contract covering, firstly, a section where you acknowledge the influencer's creativity. If you've selected your influencers carefully, you should be confident enough to do this. Secondly, acknowledge that the creator has ownership of any content he or she creates for a sponsored post. This is different from most marketing, but it's a linchpin of TikTok and most social marketing. If you intend to repurpose any of their content in a wider campaign, include details in this section. However, you can't just leave everything up to the influencer. You've entered into an influencer partnership with certain goals. Your influencers need to understand what your campaign goals are and what messages you want them to deliver. They need to know what your brand messaging is trying to achieve, basically. Although you may step back in terms of content creation, you do need to include expectations. How many videos do you expect to make? Do you have any particular expectations in terms of video and audio? Do you want them to use your product in the videos? You've got to be precise here without being too prescriptive. Find a balance between clarity and control. Allied with this, you should include clear deadlines for deliverables in your contract. You might set different stages here, for example, deadlines for delivering content to you for approval and deadlines and preferred times for sharing the videos. You should also set a distinct time frame for the campaign unless you've got a really strong relationship with an influencer to have an always on campaign. Depending on how much money is getting thrown about here and the seniority of the influencer, consider including an agreed period of exclusivity in your contract. You don't want an influencer to move straight from promoting your product to promoting your biggest competitors. It's just going to confuse the audience. Be aware that the more experienced and successful influencers will probably charge a premium for this though, as it does reduce their potential income. In the last module, we looked at FTC disclosures. They're very important to both sides of the arrangement here, businesses and influencers. So it's important that you include a paragraph in your contract requiring influencers to disclose any sponsorship in a way that meets the requirements. So now you know a bit about working with influencers, let's look at some content types you can work with. So TikTok users love to engage with their influencers. So brands can do very well working with them to encourage this engagement. So one way that brands can market here is to encourage user-generated content. Although using influencers isn't essential for good user-generated content, it does help to kickstart a campaign by providing content ideas that others can then expand on. Generation Z in particular like to fully engage with entertainment. They aren't just happy sitting back and watching television, and they don't want to rely on others to create their stories for them. These guys are just so independent. A pivotal reason for TikTok's success is that anyone can make and upload a short video. You don't need fancy equipment and a whole crew to write, act, produce and edit your videos. You can make it yourself, roping in a few friends if you need an assistant, either in front or behind the camera. Generation Z loves to express themselves, yet they're happy to accept suggested ideas for content too, which makes them ideal for making user-generated content. Now, as a marketer, you need to encourage your customers to flaunt the products that they purchase from you. You could curate the best videos and feature them on your company's social media profiles and even your website. Not only is it a great way to build your brand's credibility, but also to give a shout out to your followers. So ultimately, it can help you get more engagement and boost your follower count. User-generated content can help you build a community of fans. This strategy can make your followers feel like they're part of a like-minded community. So here's a few important things to keep in mind when creating a user-generated campaign for your brand. Firstly, make sure that you're picking the right social media channel. Is TikTok going to be the best place for you to carry out this campaign? Are they the right audience for your product? Are short videos a suitable medium for your campaign? Secondly, take time to determine your goals. You need to be very clear about your aim. The planning for your user-generated marketing campaign should reflect this. Thirdly, tell your audience exactly what you want from them. Be very clear about this in your guidelines. Mention details like your submission deadlines, hashtags to be used, and any other rules you might have. If you specify your requirements clearly, your audience is more likely to send you videos that you can use. Chinese restaurant Hai Dalio, which I can't say, so I'm just going to put the word on the screen, undertook a user-generated marketing campaign when they asked their TikTok followers to make and upload short videos of their food being prepared, using a selection of ingredients from their menu. An incredible 15,000 people filmed their food experience. I mean, was it even a meal if you don't show it to the whole world? So now let's move on to another powerful content type, hashtag challenges. In an earlier module, we discussed the advantage of these. A successful hashtag challenge can be a winning tool for absolutely everyone involved. The influencer wins because they gain maximum exposure with their followers and their engagement statistics can skyrocket. Their followers win because they find the hashtag challenge fun to participate in and they also have increased views of their videos. And then the brand that starts the challenge wins because they gain increased exposure and if they're careful with the hashtag they select, can gain access to many more people than they could otherwise. So basically a hashtag challenge is an extension of user-generated content. You're simply narrowing the focus of the content to be based around a particular challenge. Mucinex is one brand that successfully used a hashtag challenge with the aid of influencers. In 2019, they began a Halloween-themed campaign with 4 TikTok influencers to promote its product in the lead up to the upcoming flu season. Makes it sound like something people look forward to. The TikTok creators made and shared videos where they woke up basically looking like zombies. They grabbed the product and before long, they were dressed up and ready to party. They used the hashtag too sick to be sick, launching the campaign as a challenge. The challenge ran between Halloween and November 2nd, 2019. The original influencer videos encouraged other TikTok fans also to make videos where they could transform from being too sick to so sick to being ready to celebrate Halloween. Why did this hashtag challenge work? Well, when you think of TikTok, you don't normally associate it with a cold and flu remedy. I certainly don't. But firstly, although the product doesn't have a really specific niche, anyone can get a cold or flu. This opened up the range of people who may take an interest in the product and, of course, the challenge. Nobody's likely to think, hang on, this isn't for me, and immediately swipe through a video. Secondly, they started their campaign by using influencers. So not only did this greatly increase the number of people who would see these videos, it also meant that some of TikTok's most talented filmmakers got to make the first videos too. Thirdly, the videos were fun. The idea caught the attention of many users purely because of their zaniness, which meant many people decided they would like to join in the fun and make their own videos as part of the challenge. Now, that's a very powerful tool. Another favourite way for brands to interest their target audience of TikTok is to hold a contest. As with user-generated content and hashtag challenges, influencers aren't essential for a contest, but they can give an excellent kickstart and provide a large audience ready to participate. It's advisable that you create a special hashtag for your contest though and make it a condition of entry that everyone participating uses that hashtag. You could make a rule that every video that uses the hashtag, apart from your brand and the Kickstarters for your paid influencers, counts as a competition contestant. You're going to need clear rules for this though. If you don't, you risk someone taking you to court because they haven't won. Upload the rules somewhere on the web, perhaps to your own website or to your social media sites, such as your Facebook page. Then include a link to these rules on a comment in your TikTok video that explains the whole process so people can easily find them. Your rules should outline who can enter, how to enter, what the prizes will be, and when the promotion ends. It should stress you can enter without making a purchase. You also want to stress that your contestants don't break any copyrights with their entries. So think carefully about the prizes you offer. And need to be of value to your target audience. This means that the prize has to be good enough for people to take the time to make videos, but not so generic that they attract people who aren't in your target audience. If you're targeting people in a country or a state, you should research any local rules and requirements relating to contestant sweepstakes and giveaways. That draws us into the module, and we'll be finishing this course in the next, where we look at how you can improve your brand awareness using paid ads on TikTok. But before you watch that, be sure to watch the interview with our very own TikTok influencer, where she'll be giving her advice on how not to approach influencers.